Welcome to the FMCG Guys podcast. We're here in London today in exactly Canary Wharf. If you are listening to this show, because most people listen to it, you can also watch us on YouTube following the link in the show notes. And if you're watching us, hello. I think that today we're going to talk about an interesting topic in our industry, which is an area of growth in the foods category specifically, which growth is not a given today. So I'm very excited about this. And we're doing it with Maria Chong, who's the MD Europe at Kum Kee. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Daniel.
Good to see you.
Good to meet you too.
How are things? How's life in London?
Oh, life in London is tough. But still lots of fun.
How long have you been out here?
Since 2011.
2011.
Yeah, 2011. March.
A lot has happened in the world since 2011. Hasn't
Oh, yes, a lot of changes. Very exciting.
Yeah, sure. Tell me a bit. So you're originally from Hong Kong, right?
Yes, I am.
How does London compare to Hong Kong, if I may ask?
There are some similarities. I think both are metropolitan cities. A lot of diversity.
Yeah.
But of course, Hong Kong has a lot more Chinese culture related events happening. Food, lots of shopping.
More like densely populated as well?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah. Less space in Hong Kong than in London.
Yeah, definitely. You don't have the big parks there. Lovely city though. I was there in 2008.
Oh.
So a while ago as well. I think a lot has changed as well. And looking forward to going back at some point. So I wanted to ask you first of all, so now you're in the MD Europe. How did you start in your career?
Well, I actually started working in the headquarters. I joined the company many years ago.
So you're a lifer. Are you a lifer of the company? Like you've all spent your whole career in this company?
Not the whole career. I worked with another company, but very short period of time. So my career life with Kum Kee has been the longest. And but I keep changing my role and position every 2 to 3 years.
So how did you start? What was your initial? That we came from sales, marketing.
I first joined the company as a marketing executive and looked after Southeast Asian market. My first trip was to Philippines, Manila. I still remember I left my passport in the hotel when I left.
When you left Manila?
On the way to airport.
On the way to the airport.
But I got it back. Yeah.
Got it there on time.
First time I traveled to fly.
Wow, really?
Yeah, very exciting. I was very young at that time.
Yeah. That of course flying now is very accessible to everyone, but I think that if you put the population of the world and divided it, I think people would be surprised of how many people have not flown.
That's true. Yeah, it's so different. Yeah, looking back, you're right.
Yeah. So then you did marketing roles. Did you grow up in marketing mainly? Is that like?
My previous job, not this company, I was focusing on marketing, but not in this company. The first job actually was business management. So it's including sales, marketing, managing distributor, and devising all the strategies for the market, planning, supporting everything.
Yeah. And when did you move? You moved to London in 2011 already with this role?
Let me think. I was transferred from Hong Kong because at that time they want to expand Europe business. They want somebody who has a stronger experience and background with the company, knowing the business, knowing the brand, and in marketing functions. So I flew in and took over the head of marketing at that time.
Okay.
But then after 2 years, the company wanted me to take over the business and be the zone head and drive the business forward. So my role changed in 2013, around July, I think.
Yeah.
June or July.
And obviously, I mean, I think you're probably in one of these roles that's like, it just changes naturally.
Yes.
Yeah, no?
I actually did not intend to pick it up. I said, why don't you find someone else?
Really?
He said, no, you've been with the company long enough. I think you can contribute. And you can bring the business to the next level. So I said, okay, then I'll take up the challenge.
Okay, cool.
So it's very interesting. We were having a company event in Hong Kong. We were sitting, my boss sitting with me in the hotel lobby, try to convince me to change my role. But after a drink, I said yes.
Sometimes you need that drink.
Yes, sometimes.
To make it happen, right?
Yes.
And tell me a bit about the company. So we're sat here in front of some some very cool products. Tell me a bit about it, like your portfolio, and then maybe a history even.
Okay, the company, actually Kum Kee, was founded in 1888.
Oh, wow.
So we have 137 or 138 years of history. The founder was called Lee Kum Kee. Lee Kum Kee. It's I think it's on a website. I talk about the history of the company, and he was running a restaurant, and suddenly he discovered oyster sauce by accident, because he was cooking oyster soup in the kitchen, in the restaurant kitchen, and then he was talking to the customers and forgot about his cooking the oyster soup. So it boiled down to a thick paste. And then he tasted it and found it very tasty. So he started serving that as a dipping sauce in the restaurants, serving his customer. And the customer wanted to buy, and then that's how he started the sauce manufacturing business with oyster sauce discovery.
So the original oysters, like the famous oyster sauce, was originally
Yes.
started by your father?
The founder, yeah, he was the first generation, and now the company is run by the fourth generation.
Oh, wow.
And the fifth generation, some of them are also working in the company.
Is it a privately owned company?
Yes, privately owned. Yeah.
And what type of products do you have in your portfolio?
Oh, plenty. We cannot house it here. Too many.
Really?
I think globally we have over 200. Because, how we segregate the market is we have 4 zones, and Europe is one of them. And we have China, we have APAC, we have America, we have Europe. So, but there are a lot of core products which are common to all the zones. Maybe slightly different because, Europe have different regulations. So, all the formulations, basically the profile, the core line profile is the same, except that there is some compliance, then we have to modify a little bit. But we maintain the good taste.
It's mainly like sauces.
Sauces is
that how you would call it? How do you call it?
sauce and condiments.
Sauce and condiments.
Yeah, called sauce. Like the mushroom powder we recently developed, we call it condiment. Yeah, because you can use like a condiment.
Yeah.
And also some sauces, they are used on the table.
Yeah.
So they can be used as a condiment as well. So it's sauce and condiments. Some are for cooking, some are for table use. Actually, the kind of portfolio we are bringing into Europe is also serving different usage scenario and occasions. Some is for cooking, some is for direct use, like a dipping or dressing or drizzle or just seasoning up.
Or
And some for cooking.
soy sauce
Yeah.
that you can use for anything.
Oh, even soy sauce, we have a very elaborate range. Some are for cooking, some are for direct use, and some are for different occasions. I still remember when we bring in the sweet soy sauce that we have in the market today. In Hong Kong, back in those days, they were actually developed purely for clay pot rice. Are you familiar with, it's one type of cuisines in Cantonese region. It's, you have to cook the rice together with the ingredient like the meat or the other vegetables together in one pot under high heat. So it's bubbling inside. But once you finish everything, you have to dress it with a very proper, especially seasoned soy sauce. So we want to make it easier for people, so we develop a clay pot soy sauce. But if you talk about clay pot soy sauce, nobody understands.
Yeah, because here it's not like...
But then we find it because of the consistency, the thickness, the flavor, the color, it's very suitable for the European world. So we bring it in as a sweet soy sauce for its convenience. It's a one step, but they can use it as a dressing. So even soy sauce, we have different types. We have soy sauce just for dressing steamed fish. It is also a very convenient product, first introduced by Lee Kum Kee back in the 90s. So the third generation owner at that time suddenly think, hey, we should. It's so it's not that complicated. You can do it at home, but consumers these days are very busy. So you need that one-step things. You just pour on, and then they can serve the steamed fish. So the company come up with a convenient product just for that particular purpose. But of course, it's because among Cantonese homes, steamed fish is an everyday dish. So you want to make it easier for consumers.
It's interesting, like when you talk about like the innovation cycle.
Yes.
It seems like very like, I don't know what to say, like it starts with a coincidence, but it's maybe always being open to like bringing new products, through different use cases and that.
Yeah, just come like this, right?
Is that how the company has historically?
Not really. I won't say it this way because actually for some market or some particular products, they did use research focus group, and they do it in a very traditional, conventional marketing methodology in innovation. Yeah, they follow the same pipeline, the same funnel and process. But a lot of our successful product really come out like this. But something come out like this doesn't mean it's without ground. It's with a lot of experience. First of all, I always tell my team, if you want to introduce or bring in some new products for consumers, whichever market, whether it's Asia, whether it's Europe, or I used to handle Australia market as well. So the first thing is have to pass your own test. Do you like it first? If you like it, then you can find out whether people around you like it. Whether it's your customers, the trade, consumers, and even your friends. Because they're consumers. Ourselves are consumers as well. So you have to pass your own gate first. This is number one. So when I said things come like this, doesn't mean it's without ground.
Doesn't mean like one person has the idea and
no,
then you bring it to market.
We have a lot of observation and insight from people around us. And we did do focus groups as well under certain situation to confirm whether our idea is truly workable. So we want to get some feedback as well.
And tell me about, so you moved here to Europe in 2011. What was the situation? Because obviously your products back then were pretty, I would say, niche. I don't know if I would go as far as that. Also, I'm from Barcelona.
You mean in Hong Kong?
No, in Europe, I mean.
Oh,
like
it's
in
niche.
terms of like Asian sources, etc.
Yes and no.
I think they're more prevalent now than they were then. But you tell me.
I think we are also changing how people use Chinese sauces because it's a matter of education, and we reach out and let people experience it. It's more important because I always say people say we need to understand consumer needs, but I think it's more important to understand what's the implicit needs of the consumers. They may not be aware because they were not exposed to a better oyster sauce or a product that you never brought to their horizon. They have no experience with it. But once they try it, if they like it, then it's totally new thing. They may see it as innovation, but yes, to us, I think it's a concept innovation sometimes. I still remember when we introduced one of the popular flavor among our table soy range is called Oriental Sesame Soy Sauce. And it's originated from the Chinese dumplings sauce. And this is special blend from the company to make eating dumplings a more enjoyable experience, the right flavor, very balanced.
It's normally a balance of soy and vinegar, right?
Soy vinegar and sesame oil, but it's the proportion that we grow up with Chinese food, so we know what is the right proportion. So the company developed this for convenience of Chinese consumers. But we noticed when we bring in, we noticed that European consumers love it. So we translate into another concept, become Oriental Sesame dressing. It didn't work. It worked, but not extensively. So we transfer the concept into Oriental Sesame dressing. From Oriental Sesame dressing to Oriental Sesame soy sauce, because probably it's easier for consumers to relate. But definitely before we do that, we know they love the taste first. And it is easy to apply. So we did have a few such examples when we developed the European market, and it turned out to be successful.
And Europe, like, I don't know, I consider like Barcelona or Spain to be pretty different to the UK. When you're managing Europe, and especially it's interesting because you're bringing like flavors that are coming from like a very different tradition into these markets. How do you approach like all these different markets, these different consumers?
You mean within Europe they are different? I would, after all these years, actually you got my answers. They are the same, but they are not exactly the same. They are not totally different. They are not the same, I should say. They are not the same, but they are not totally different. Because from our past 15 years, we noticed that things that worked in the UK does work in Germany as well. And I think that I always share with my friends in staff that I think taste standard is common, universal. It's only whether you have been exposed to the best, then you can compare. It can be aligned in the end. But of course, there still exists a personal preference. Like you like spicy, I cannot take too spicy. And some I think in some culture they love a slightly sweeter taste. Like even in Asia, Taiwanese people prefer a slightly sweeter taste in food. And where else? Even within China, there's a lot of regional difference.
Yeah, like
so
Sichuan,
Europe is different culture.
Sichuan is known for like spicy food, for example.
Yeah, Sichuan is different from Hunan spicy food.
Yeah.
Hunan is even more spicier than Sichuan.
Oh, really?
A lot of people see Sichuan food as all spicy, but actually half of the dishes are not spicy. Half spicy, half not spicy. And they use a lot of spices as well. So once we go into talking about different regional cuisines, there's so much to learn, even for myself. I'm still learning,
And what are the main markets you're in now in Europe?
UK.
UK is number one?
UK is number one. If you talk about mainstream market, UK is number one. But you talk about market in general, Germany is quite big because we are not just serving Chinese, we are serving the population at large and also supplying to restaurants. So from sheer size of population, Germany is bigger than UK. But in terms of Asian sources and our business development into the mainstream population, UK is the biggest at the moment.
Is there any market that like you're kind of surprisingly over-indexed?
Ireland, Czech Republic. Because you calculate the turnover comparing with the population size, right? Czech it's sometimes very interesting when you develop the market. When the opportunity comes, you need to capture it. Maybe there was an opportunity about maybe 8 years ago. We capture it, and then we start to develop, and they grow faster than the rest. But it doesn't mean ultimately we'll be the biggest, but only up to today, So when I try to remember the numbers, I think Ireland doing very well. We have a very good distributor there. And but then, of course, that market is smaller than the UK market. And Czech Republic as well. Because I still remember it was an opportunity that we can enter macro, one of the biggest
wholesaler.
Cash and carry wholesaler. Plus, they also sell retail product in the stores, and we got that opportunity. We said yes, we invest a little bit, and we need to go into it. And up to today, comparing with the proportion of the business versus the population size, is quite sizable.
It's interesting, like, from the products that you have in your portfolio, when you think about it, it actually has quite a lot of capillarity in terms of like a lot of points of sale ultimately, because you're in restaurants, but you're also in the main supermarkets, but you're also like in a lot of like corner stores and Asian specialty stores, no, I imagine.
Yes.
Which a lot of like bigger consumer goods brands may not be in all these places.
I never thought of that. I think looking back because I work in different markets, different zones before. I think Kum Kee is the only Chinese brand and Chinese food brand that you can see around the world. The widest presence. We probably started serving the Chinese restaurants back in the 20s. But then I think back in those days, even before my time, they started with the Chinatown for the retail shops, right? Because there's migrants from China, Hong Kong, Asia into those countries. And then gradually people notice us, and gradually our team expand. And then we need to consider serving local consumers more. We used to serve them through the Chinese restaurants or takeaways, or in US they call it takeouts, right? They have been tasting Chinese food, which inside is using Kum Kee sauces. The company actually started exporting to America before they go to Hong Kong. So they actually started from China to Macau export, and Macau to Hong Kong. So I think around 1940s, the company declared Hong Kong as the headquarters. The family moved to Hong Kong and based.
Where were they from originally?
Every one of us, our parents from China. But a lot of changes in history that they move people around. So a lot of Chinese living overseas, like Southeast Asia, Hong Kong. I was born in Hong Kong.
It's what you said as well. Like, for me growing up in Barcelona, it was soy sauce, it was like an exotic thing that you would only get when you go to a Chinese restaurant. But now it's like, it's practically the same prevalent. I don't know. I haven't studied it specifically, but I know that having soy sauce at home, it's practically like having olive oil. I mean, not as much, but you would find a lot of.
Yes.
I always
In a
have
way,
soy sauce
yes.
at home because you never know. So I think that it's, I don't know, there's been like a cultural change, I think, through the arrival of more Asian immigrants with time. But I think also like globalization has played a role in that, and that like the exposure to foreign cuisines. I mean, when I grew up in Barcelona, particularly the only foreign cuisines that you could find was Chinese.
Oh, really?
But now it's changed a lot, obviously. I don't know if you've seen also that demographic or cultural change
A lot.
affecting your business. Well, affecting.
Not affecting.
Impacting,
Giving us more opportunity.
Yeah, well, that's true. Like affecting sounds negative, like in a positive way, no?
It is. We have a lot of challenges these days. Even, for example, in certain markets, one of the challenge in, for example, restaurants business is some Chinese restaurant owners, they are changing to running Japanese all-you-can-eat easier because it's easier. Higher because of the difficulties they're facing in recruiting the right talent, skillful chefs, and a lot of government policy issue affecting them. Operating cost is high and so on and so forth. In particular, when they do not have a skillful Chinese chefs, which take years to train up one. So and a lot of them changing to Japanese cuisines. So and then I love Japanese cuisines too. Among all the Asian cuisines, I love Chinese if I have to eat every day because of varieties and flavors, way of cooking. But then the trend is on the road, so you have to tackle that. And young people and Europeans, British consumers, they love Japanese food. But actually, they love to try anything that is new and tastes good. So we have to adapt into.
So interesting. There's been that trend of Chinese restaurants becoming Japanese restaurants.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
No, some of them. But that also happens in Barcelona.
Yes.
But also, there's been a trend of like, I think that happened in the UK ages ago, but in Barcelona it's been more like the last 10 years, where Chinese restaurants used to be a version of Cantonese food catered for Europeans. And now I think that we've gone first, we've seen more diversities in terms of like the cuisine.
Yes.
And I think that there's more like the trend of trying to be authentic as well.
Yes. But sometimes you cannot be too authentic.
Yeah.
You need to choose the right product that is acceptable. So I always share my views with my colleagues, saying that Chinese cuisine will stay forever, but for simple reason that it's more complex, a lot more offerings, and Cantonese cuisines within Chinese cuisine will stay very long versus Sichuan cuisines. Because Sichuan cuisines, it's very exciting, that you cannot eat it every day because it's too exciting sometimes, so you need to balance off. So even Japanese cuisines versus Chinese cuisines, I think they will grow together. And just if you look at the restaurant scene in London, you can see even Chinese cuisines is expanding in the sense that people are bringing in more regional cuisines and street foods. Yeah. And chefs are keep on innovating. Chefs who've been like chefs who work here, they have Chinese background, but they have exposure to Western consumers or local consumers. They know how to create new innovation in terms of menu. So we work with them quite closely and we learn every day.
Yeah, how do you do it, like to make chefs or restaurants use your products more?
First of all, you need to have good product and consistency. Yeah. And you need to offer a range because chef won't just stick to one ingredient. And but it's related to a lot more about the background of Chinese sauces. So it's too complex for today. But then I think first of all, you have to maintain a consistent quality and flavors that they think it works in my menu. It will turn around my menu with surprise for my customers who eat in the restaurants. So we have very stable customers. I think there are more that we have yet to reach out because we're not just looking into Chinese restaurants or Asian restaurants.
Yeah, of course.
Because in the process, I just mentioned about the trend changing to Japanese. So we start to think about, shall we enter the Japanese restaurants? And then in the process, try to understand the market. We notice that they're using our products.
Before you knew.
I was surprised.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is to my surprise.
And it's quite common for like a Mediterranean restaurant to maybe have like a salmon with soy sauce or something like that as well.
Salmon with soy sauce?
Yeah, for example, like marinated in soy sauce. Well, at least in Barcelona, it's quite common to buy.
We have a teriyaki sauce, but teriyaki sauce, they don't classify as soy sauce. Normally, they classify as a teriyaki, but
Yeah.
teriyaki is also a soy-based sauce. But it's a different concoction,
Yeah.
but it's soy-based. We seldom marinate fish in Chinese cooking, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not totally don't marinate. Probably it's the salt and pepper. But then for fish, because we want to maintain the umami of the fish meat, everything, we grow up with the word umami, but we say in a Chinese way. We call Cantonese xin mei. Xin is, yesterday I was having dinner with our Dutch distributor who flew in from Amsterdam. And then I was sharing, because we have a fish, a newly opened premium Chinese restaurant along this road in Dorset Hotel. So it's the first time I ate there because they are not officially open yet. So we talk about the steamed fish. I said, do you know, because the fish they use is, the way they steam it is very different from the normal one because they add chicken meat and mushroom, Chinese mushroom. But this is a traditional home style cooking as well. My mother used the same, but not chicken, but pork. Do you know why? Because it's fish, seafood, together with the meats. Normally it's the pork, but you can use chicken as well. So the two together make the whole dish even more umami. You know the Chinese word for umami is xin. Xin is actually two parts. One word, but I have section 1 and 2, right? One part is fish. The other one part is lamb. But it combined into the word xin, umami. It's very interesting about Chinese characters, but maybe next time, if you have another podcast, I talk more about it.
How do you go around building a brand? Like, you know...
In the last 15 years there?
Yeah,
or the future?
Well, when it took all the last 15 years, like, yeah. Is it like, because like, I don't know, like TV budgets are very competitive. Is it more like social media or is it just like more like being in the stores and then getting the consumer to know you guys?
Oh, you just reminded me of my pain point. Yesterday, my CFO from headquarters asked me to cut some budgets. Well, no, just joking. And it's a very challenging market, but I still remember 15 years ago when I first landed. First thing I did was relook into our investment in the brand. Is when you communicate on a product, you're not just selling a product because you're not going to succeed by selling a product. You have to make sure your product fit in with what the consumer wants and or you create demand for them. And you need to let them know. So you need to invest in brand awareness. And but one thing we are quite different from the other brands is I think we have knowledge. And we have a lot of passion in the product. Because at least myself, I know the product and the brand and the business quite thoroughly from my experience in other zones as well. And I've been seeing different competitors, different market situations, different channels. But I still remember at that time, the company did not invest enough in talking to the consumers and reaching out to them. It's more than just, it's not a one-way talking. You need to observe how they react to whatever you offer to them and what you talk to them as well. But we start with a very basic because we know, there are things that are no-brainers. You just need to do it. You just need to do this basic first. So we started with something very basic. Okay, we come to this country and we want to expand our European business. The first thing you need to know is what products suits them. And you have to understand their cooking habit. But you cannot from day one say, I need to teach them how to use it in an omelette or in a pasta. No, because we know they love Asian food, they love Chinese food as well. Otherwise, there won't be so many Chinese takeaway and Chinese restaurants in Europe and UK. So you have to identify what they are going after, and then you introduce something to help them make it even better, and they can make it at home. So they have a choice. So we give them the best choice of the core range. I still remember the first. We were in the UK mainstream market for a long time, but not in the mainstream market. We were there twice. once in Lake Waitrose many years ago, I think over 20 years ago, and once maybe extended a little bit more into other, maybe a couple more, but then even using Can Hong, so famous. But I think the point is when we redo everything, we start from zero. You have to relook into why it doesn't work before, and then what will work for them. And from your own experience, what do you want to share with the consumers? What kind of value you bring to them? So I think our knowledge makes a lot of difference versus the other brands here, because we know our products. We know Chinese cuisines, we know Asian cuisines as well. We know what is the right flavor. And I still remember the first thing I did was come up with a book called Walk Along with Kum Kee. Not W-A-L-K, but W-O-K. Walk Along with Kum Kee.
Yeah.
People know walk, people know stir fry, but it's just to use the word to communicate with them is just walking with them. But this book, what we did is, I forgot how many pages, maybe 60, 70 pages, but it's a small book, and try to demystify Chinese cooking. First of all, there are 10 myths so in the first page. Chinese food is not unhealthy, it's very healthy. And Chinese food is not difficult to replicate at home. So, and there are another 8. So we want to clear those misconceptions first, so that they're not scared of trying and experimenting. And inside we give them the basic, what's the normal, very easy to use cooking equipment. If you don't have a wok, use a pan. And what are the other things you need to use? If you don't have the Chinese spatula, you use the chopsticks. Or just the normal things you use in the kitchen. And what are the basic flavors and sauces? And what are the popular home dishes? I remember we created 40 dishes, but easy to do. So this is all how we started. And we started talking about oyster sauce. You said, just now you mentioned soy sauce is like olive oil in Spanish cuisine, right? I hope someday you are telling me oyster sauce is just like olive oil.
Oyster sauce is not there yet. Like oyster sauce,
it will be there.
it may do, but it is much more niche.
Yes.
Than soy sauce.
Yes, as of today.
As of today.
Yes, of today. Yes.
How do you see, like, the category of Asian sauces and condiments evolving in the next 10 years? Is 10 years too much? Maybe 5 years? I don't know. You tell me.
Well, every year there are some changes, but the core will remain, and we keep on seeing what works best for the consumers. One of product like the Chichao chili oil, I don't know, it's from day one. I just bring in as one of the chili products we have. We have 3 chili products at that time. And now it's one of the top sellers. And so you know what consumers like, what's the opportunity with each of them. It will be changing. We're still introducing new product every year. Like we introduced a sesame wok oil a few years ago. It works very well. And we have the mushroom powder last year. And
what do you use mushroom powder for?
Mushroom powder? Do you know chicken powder?
Yes.
You can use mushroom powder like a chicken powder.
Okay.
But this is vegan. This is great taste. Our company also do chicken powder, but because of the supplier cannot get a certificate, so we cannot sell in Europe. So, but mushroom powder is vegetarian, it's halal, it's vegan. And I compare both products because originally it was a sample received from Hong Kong, because every quarter we have global new product sharing among all the Zone heads. So I try it at home. I think I never use seasoned powder at home. And then suddenly I realized, hey, I use it very quickly. I use it in the soup. Because when I used to do a soup base, like whatever noodles, I don't have a soup base that I think is tastes very naturally. So I sometimes use, what's the Japanese word, miso? But I can't use it every day because it's too boring to just keep having miso, and it's come with a little bit of bitterness. So this one is umami. So since I have the sample, I use it, and suddenly I realized the level got down very quickly. So I find it very interesting. I never use a seasoning powder at home, and I use this so quickly. So I share with friends, colleagues, and I give samples to chef. And then very interesting thing happened. The chef, after tasting, I said, chef, it's a sample. He said, I changed all my menu already. The whole restaurant menu. They changed all the chicken powder into mushroom powder. He's saying, this is a very nice product.
Wow.
It's very applicable. And besides, it's
and how do you Because that's the thing, like you can have that experience, maybe you can show the chef, but you can only go so far. How do you then communicate it to like the wider population, the benefits of this product?
We are still, there are some things internally we are adjusting, like the brand identity, how to make it more mainstream, the naming. And but in general, since 15 years ago, we started to go into social media. And when I first came, they already have a Facebook. But you know, we have only 892 followers. But
You have to start somewhere.
we start somewhere. We engage an agency and we started to do marketing, a lot of seedling as well. And then within 2 months of the first campaign, we got 20,000.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quick. It's quick, to my surprise. It's quick.
Yeah.
I think people start to, first of all, they need to be aware of who you are. And you are here. Maybe they know us from the Chinese supermarkets as well.
Yeah.
And they know the brand from other friends and maybe flatmates. I don't know, because there are a lot of people living in London. They are from Asia too. So they start to realize, oh, it's here. It's now available in Tesco and now it's Sainsbury, Morrison, and so on and so forth. Availability is there, but we need to communicate through social media platforms. We started with Facebook, started with campaigns, and we expanded to Instagram. And I think about a year or two ago, we started with TikTok. But TikTok is still, we need to invest a little bit more. It's reaching different target persona.
And it's important to be on these, to show your brand somewhere, because if not, in the foods category, it's very easy to be commoditized if not.
True, it is. Depends on what sauce.
Yeah, that's true.
Some sauce is more commodity than the others.
Like soy, I guess, would be more commoditized than oyster, for example. No?
Yeah, you got it right. Yeah, you got it right. Because it's subtle. I still remember many years ago, I don't know how to differentiate a good one versus a bad one. Until we lay everything on the table, competitors, Kum Kee, and our expert in soy sauce teach us how to taste it. And then from that day onwards, I know how to tell.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a process. But then we have more than soy sauce. Use it in different occasions.
I just have the soy sauce here, so it's the first one that came.
This is a Japanese soy sauce.
There you go.
We can do Japanese soy sauce as well. We have very good products.
How different are Chinese and Japanese soy sauce?
They are different usage, I would say. I still remember I worked with a chef, a very famous chef in Guangzhou, from a hotel. He said, I experimented with Japanese soy sauce, with the Chinese soy sauce in cooking. And but then Chinese soy sauce can retain the umami and the fragrance that the heat in contact with the soy sauce, it's keeping this soybean umami aroma under high heat. That's what I learned from that chef many years ago. And because Japanese cuisines are not totally the same as Chinese cuisine, we do a lot of stir fries and cooking. And we have soy sauce that used as a marinade in stir fry, and some for direct usage, just like the sweet soy I mentioned just now. So they are different. So Japanese soy sauce is more like using in a dipping. And I heard some of the chefs actually dilute to make it less salty as well.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, the usage is different. That's all I can say.
There you go.
So
and for you, like, because of course you're in a growing category and you obviously like what you do and you like being hands-on. How do you balance like being hands-on, making things happen, with also having like that leadership part of like more thinking long-term and so on?
Looking back, I think do you know rubber band? Rubber band.
Yeah.
So it's like pulling a rubber band. Sometimes you have to stretch it. Sometimes you have to retract a little bit. So because I used to came here to head up marketing, but now my role has changed. So my daily routine became different too. I mean, all along the last 15 years, and I have been building teams. When I first joined, it's less than 20. But we have more than three times people, but still small. Because we are a small team covering the whole Europe market.
Well, because you do distributors as well, right?
So I need to empower my team members. So I would participate less into meetings, in particular the daily operational meetings. I used to participate in all the meetings, or I drive for the meetings, but not so much. I have to let them run because I'm running short of time, but my meeting is still back to back. So I would only go into meeting that is talking about strategies, and or when I see something it's not right, not moving forward, then I would join, and then I would, like a rubber band, I have to pull it again or return. So I need to work like this. But I think it's a good learning process for myself about leading team and for training up the team to be more independent.
Yeah. I mean, that's key now when you're involved in leadership to learn how to, the word delegate, but I think it's more like empower.
It's a more positive word,
Right.
but this is true.
And
This is really
to delegate
empower.
than to empower is let people take decisions, and to delegate is more you take a decision, but the others do the work. No.
No, not really. I'm quite involved. I'm quite hands-on. They all know I'm quite hands-on. But now you have to segregate into what subject matters in importance. You become hands-on. Yeah. Even today, we had before this. I have another meeting about an event with sponsor. Talk about the menu. I would get involved in the menu as well. If something is wrong, then I have to participate again to make sure everything is right. But the most important thing is to train up we call it -1, train my -1, that is the function leader or the sales team leader, and that help them to lead their team as well. When I help them, I also have dialogue directly with their subordinates to see is there any gap that I can help them. Yeah, because we are one team anyway.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like you said, 60 people or so. It's type of the size where
more than 60 now. Yeah, we're expanding.
It is the type of size where you can. You kind of have to do everything. Not everything, but you have to be strategic, but also, as you said, get involved into some more in the menus, things like that. No?
Even on delegation, you talk about delegation versus empowerment. Some people just take it by the word superficial meaning. When they hit the wall, I would go tell my -1, hey, there are things that you can delegate, there are things we cannot delegate. You need to understand what you can. And if the things that you should delegate but you cannot delegate, that means your staff is not ready, then you have to train them to make sure how they can be your successor or how they can work more independently. Otherwise, the people cannot move up. And when the business expands, we cannot manage. And
what do you like about, like, you've been working in this industry for a while? What do you like it? What are you passionate about?
I love food. My mother cooks very well. So I enjoy the experience with food and taste and keep innovating. I have a lot of passion in my work and in our product. If I don't like a product, I don't think I would work with a company, because marketing is not cheating. Marketing is communicating, be very strategic, seeing consumers' needs, and even co-build the future together with them. So they're part of our company. In the future, I think our company would even put more effort into being a more consumer-centric company, and to relook into our purpose as a brand here and what we can contribute to the communities. So I'm still very excited about what I'm doing and what we can do in the future. There are so many opportunities. Oh, can I add one thing?
You can, of course.
You asked me about soy sauce difference between Japanese and Chinese soy sauce. I forgot one very important point. You use soy sauce, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. Do you know soy sauce have light soy sauce and dark soy sauce?
No.
Okay, I think we haven't done enough to communicate with the consumers. In particular in Spain, we'll do better in the future. So in Chinese cooking, we have light soy and dark soy. And light soy is actually for the flavor, for the actual umami. It's natural fermentation anyway. The dark soy is for the color. You need both the flavor and the color in a dish. I still remember I went to Peninsula in Paris because we hosted an event there. And then for that event, they have to use our products, but it's not Chinese. They don't have Chinese restaurant. So we give them the head chef, the samples, and then we keep on experimenting. I wait outside and taste whatever he created for us because we need to fix the menu. And then I asked him, which product do you like among your top rated number one among our sauces, the samples that get given to you? He said, dark soy sauce. I was so surprised. I think it's the color and the lust that bring into the French cuisines also help him in his kitchen. But I didn't ask in details, but I still remember it very clearly. So So in Chinese cooking, in Chinese soy sauce, we have light soy and dark soy. Of course, we have other value-added soy sauce, application-specific, but the basic one is light and dark. But in Japanese soy sauce, they don't have it because they're different application.
Well, the next time we speak, we'll see if I've learned more, if I've heard like.
Oh, please come. We organize a taste experience session for you, or even cooking class for you.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe when I'm back in London another time,
Yes,
we can
please.
come and do
Yes.
that. I would love it.
Yes.
There's this question that I ask all my guests on the podcast,
Ah.
which is, with everything that you've learned during your career, if you went back to yourself when you were starting to work, what's the one piece of advice you would give yourself?
Myself.
Yeah.
Not the others. I thought about last night, and I know you have this question. I thought about this morning, and then it's the same answer. Is I need to be fair to myself. I think I spend too much time in work. I think I need to spare some of my time in my personal interests, personal development. Yeah, so to take care of myself more instead of just work. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much, Maria, for joining me. It was great. I'll probably take you on the tasting session another time I'm in London. Thanks so much for being with me today.
Thank you.
Thanks to our audience for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode of the FMCG, guys. Have a great one. Bye.
Thank you.
The content in this podcast episode is provided for general informational purposes only. By listening to our episode, you understand that no information contained in this episode should be construed as advice from Dwyer Partners SL, doing business as the FMCG guys, or the individual author, host, or guests, nor is it intended to be a substitute for research on any subject matter. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by Dwyer Partners SL. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. Dwyer Partners SL expressly disclaims any and all liability or responsibility for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or other damages arising out of any individual's use of, reference to, or inability to use this podcast or the information we presented in this podcast.